Here we go.
There we are.
Welcome to a new live stream here, really live from the Karchak studio in Essen, Germany. I'm Karchak, Christian Schenk, just before hopping on the plane going to Las Vegas. And here is nobody less than the president of not Germany, but almost the German Magic Circle. Yes. So the German Magic Circle, called MZVD, Magischer Zirkel von Deutschland. Lars Tepel is here. I think one of the coolest presidents. Well, coolest president.
We have the only one, so.
But besides of Eberhard Riese, besides of Epps, I didn't. Who was in between?
In between was nobody. I'm the direct successor of Eberhard Riese, but before Eberhard was Wolfgang Sommer, and before him was Müller.
That's something.
But that long ago.
Very long ago.
My time.
Yes, when I got into the Magic Circle of Germany, I started with Wolfgang Sommer.
It's also rather long-term appointment. So we had Magic Circle was founded in 1912, so it's quite a while ago, and I'm the 12th president. So it's not a jump seat. It's rather for long term.
Did you know that when you?
Yes, I did. And
did you vote for this, or were you appointed to it and you just took it?
No, actually, it wasn't. It was not my idea. So it was a phone call I received from Michelle Spillner, and
she's cool.
Yes, she was vice president at the time. And she asked me, "Don't you want to become president?" More or less without any further ado. And then I was first thinking that she was kidding, but she wasn't. And so the next step was asking Eberhard Riese what he's thinking about it. And he also liked the idea. And he said, "I'm telling you for years you should come to the board." And he said yes to the board, but becoming new president.
You have not been in the board.
No,
before,
I have not.
Right?
That was the crazy part. So I didn't really know what to expect, and maybe that was not too bad. But actually, I was part of the we call it Regie team. So it's the group of people who organize all the competitions in the convention. So the conventions are organized by several different people, but the competition part is always organized by the same people.
That you then also send to all the different conventions,
Yes.
World, European Championships, World Championships, etc.
Europe
right?
not yet, but World yes, and Europe maybe no. But especially the qualifying contest, the Vorentscheidung, and the German Championships, just to ensure a kind of persistent level of quality, and to allow us just to make more mistakes in a shorter time and to learn from them. And so this is what we do for 15 years now. And long years, Tamara, Renate Knopf, who is also well known by by many people here in Germany.
Yeah.
She was the leader of this group for several years, and now she went back to the jury where she was before, and she also loved being part of the jury. And now my wife took over and is now the new leader of the Regie team, and I took over the steering wheel on the board. And yes, it was kind of interesting to start. So I was always connected to the board very closely, because we also, of course, due to the fact that we always talked about the conventions and about the competitions and so on, and I was always in charge for everything that was technical, and so it was always a close exchange between the board and my person, but still it's different from being part of it. And now it's also very interesting, and they also see it as a kind of a opportunity to have somebody coming a little from the outside, and well, the outside is wrong, because I'm in the circle for a long time and really connected to it, but still not somebody who's part of the board for so many years. And we have some very experienced people, especially of course Michelle, who we were talking about. She's not part of the board, but still very close connected as head of the Magie Redaktion, our magazine. And we have
our monthly magazine of the Magic Circle.
Yes.
So is she still doing it?
Yes.
Cool, that's great. So you convinced her to continue?
Yes, I didn't have too much, because she's really passionate for it, and she really she's a professional journalist, so she's a great magician, and so that's a perfect combination. And she's doing it for several years now with really high passion and professionalism, and it's really tough. I mean, now I have to write the Bericht des Präsidenten, so it's a little
God.
yeah, it's
The statement of the president.
kind of It's so once in a month I can write down what I did or what I think or whatever. So it's about one page in the magazine where I can write more or less what I want. But I also have to do it every month, and it's just amazing how fast a month goes by, right? So it's just really close, and I only have to write this page. They have to do the whole magazine. It's really crazy.
Wow. Yeah. What I like is that you really started having or not started, it's for many years now already, that there's a certain team that is always going to the events and stays the same. I wish it would not only be for the artists. I suggested it several times. Maybe you remember Gay Junberg at FISM, who was usually responsible for picking the order of the competitors, and he's not there anymore. And maybe that's a good thing, because it was kind of polarizing how he did it.
Yes.
And I then also thought, that was in Quebec the last time I think when I heard about it, that there should also be, let's say, a dealer chairman.
Yes.
So someone who is responsible for the dealers, because every time if there's a new event, and now let's talk about German championships or other conventions, like when it was Magic Hands, always the same time, the same guys.
Yes.
Then you have a certain team that learns from experience and avoids problems. But every time when I see, for instance, when I go to a French convention or whatsoever, and they are changing every time the location, they start from scratch more or less. Instead of taking the team from last year, taking maybe 20% of those and even pay them, because next time they can have 20% being paid on the next event to help out, so that they can guide them through to avoid all the barriers and hurdles and avoid mistakes. Because it's, for me, it always feels like starting all over again.
Definitely.
The only ones who are doing it, is it good or not, let's say they do it the same way, is Magic Live, for instance, or Blackpool, where they always have the same kind of team.
Yes.
That makes it easy. But as soon as it's an event that goes around, it's difficult.
Yeah, it's definitely.
Yeah.
But we're also thinking about that. How to give this kind of professionalism and experience without taking away the spontaneity and the new ideas. So not to have the same. Some people say, why don't we do it like Blackpool? Why don't we find one location and do the same, the German championships always at the same place with the same people? And it has, of course, some points that speak for it, for doing it like this, but still we want it to be have the option to travel all over the country and to be in different places and give different people this opportunity. What the Magic Circle did several years ago, that was even before I was part of that team, was doing this Regie team thing. So to have people who are just in charge for the competition, because a competition is always something also for the people who organize a convention. They all know, okay, well, of course I can do a nice gala show. Of course, that's if you're a magician, you've seen a lot of gala shows and you have your ideas how to put it together. Same goes for lectures. You know what a nice lecture is, and you have your dream lecturer, and you invite them, and okay. Then come dealer. I think this is always difficult, because nobody who's not a dealer will have a challenge to find perfect circumstances and conditions for the dealers. We found this when we made the Vorentscheidung in Lübeck, in Kevela. It was really difficult, the one for Lübeck. That was really something you make up your head about. But what is good for the dealers? How often should we close? Should we lock down the dealers during the competition times? So we said, okay, nobody should go to the.
And sometimes the ideas are good, meant but not well done.
Yeah, that's
And
interesting.
therefore, I suggested several times I
Yes.
could be the dealer chairman, because I traveled around the
Yeah.
world and I've seen from South America to Asia.
Yeah,
I've been
definitely.
to all the conventions,
Yeah.
and I see most of the time a lot of mistakes that are done, expectations from the organizers that are usually going in the totally wrong
Yes.
direction. And the worst thing is they all start with a good intent, saying there will be dealer time, etc. And then the registration numbers don't go up enough. And then they say, oh, we need another artist, a great name that we have to add. And when we are adding him, then he needs also a lecture.
Yes.
And he does this, and another hour of the day is taken away, and another hour. So one day I even said, you know what, as an organizer, you would have to provide in contract at least 2 hours of the day as pure dealer time. And we are not talking about during lunch or dinner when everybody's eating, when nobody goes is able to go to the dealer room. So if the organizer is not providing these 2 hours, they would have to pay a fine to all the dealers. Meaning that the dealer chairman of this convention now has a weapon against the guys who are always filling the empty slots by saying, so, okay, you can have another one, but just to let you know, we are at the limit of the 2 hours.
Yes.
If you're putting one more lecture in, you would have to pay X amount to all the dealers back then. The worst ever was the national championships in Spain,
Yes.
where they had like what Walter almost did with 2 different theaters, one for stage, one for close-up. They had a beautiful theater, and that's where the opening gala started. We had all the dealers in this beautiful theater, etc. And then most of the competition happened in another theater. So everything was walking distance. We were there completely alone, nobody there. And during lunch, where people would now have, where the competition was over, etc., they walked back over to the other theater. However, the whole team of this theater was taking siesta. So they closed. They kicked us out. We were sitting outside on the square in a restaurant, and saw all the people coming back, rattling the doors, cannot go in. And we were sitting there and said, yeah, well, we would love to sell you something, but no, come back in 2 hours. Oh, there's a competition going on again. Sorry. So that was a nightmare, and all the dealers wanted their money back, because it was we did not even break even. It was a terrible event.
I guess so. Yeah, that's. I mean, it's difficult, and of course, you always want to provide a nice program, but this is what we saw in Turin as well. So many people were really exhausted because they couldn't just make it. There were so many things offered, and many were really saying, okay, well, I would like to take part, and at least I told you before. Actually,
you did not even have the time.
I didn't see the dealers really. Once we were doing a FISM video blog, and so we've walked around it once, but actually I wasn't even part of that, because they did this, I think, during the
was it with the filming, the vlogging?
The blogging, and so fortunately I had Stefan Pütz and his daughter Franzi and my wife, who were also in charge of the video blog, and Franzi also edited it, which was really a great help, because this is what usually I did before, but being president definitely adds some events to your calendar.
Oh, yeah.
And especially if it's the first time. So there were so many people I met the first time in person, like Andrea Baioni, who is the FISM president, or Eric Eswin, who was FISM
very old
president
one, yeah.
before, or so many different people. So some I met before, like Domenico Dante and Prisca Walter, and so on. Yeah, there was right, or Xavier Tapias, who is now the vice president of FISM World and the president of FISM Europe. I met him in Switzerland. So I met some people before, but several for the first time, and of course that's also important to connect. And then fortunately, lots of German competitors who also had some time that they required to be taken part of. And so it was a long day and not too much sleep, but and no chance to at least once stroll around the
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that I have not seen well, I know that in Quebec definitely I only saw maybe 20% of all the participants.
Crazy.
Because the dealer room was so far away from the whole event. It was a 10-minute walking distance, like playing Castle Wolfenstein.
Yes.
Steering through all the different corridors to get there. It was really, really bad.
Yeah.
Now, I can tell you that, God's sake, I offered myself as a dealer chairman, even if I was only at the beginning there for the planning, but not then for the execution. That's when I was out there, God's sake. I had many other things.
Yes.
But Walter wanted to have the biggest dealer room in the world. He wanted to put Blackpool to shame. And he was expecting 200 dealers. I said, why? People would be exhausted. They cannot see even 130 in Blackpool if they take the time. And so I suggested max 100, maybe 60 to 100. And I think he got in this area. I don't know how many at the end there were. I have no idea. But I think this was a well-balanced dealer room.
Yes, I think so. It was not really a dealer room, right? It was in the foyer, so it was really...
It was perfect. That's what I suggested. Keep them around there. That's what I also suggested for Quebec. Unfortunately, we ran out of space. When I for 3 days, I tried to get the dealers more attention because we were just starving down there
in
Quebec. So really I was talking with these organizers every day, and on Wednesday evening we had an emergency meeting with all the dealers down there, and we discussed, please let us go into the foyer because there was this exhibition of Zachary, for instance, what took a lot of space, and everybody had seen already the pictures. They could be removed. Now, putting all the dealers there should have been possible. The fire police said only this amount, and there were a few places missing, so we could not do this. And therefore, we had to stay down there, but adding the bar in this area and the sitting area helped definitely, and also removing the empty. They knew they had 36 dealers coming, and they had built this room for 50, and they did not remove it because the organization, what is it called here? Gewerkschaft. They were so well organized that they had to pay whatever amount to remove all this because now they have to come in. So when I said, well, I do this, I don't care. And so what they wanted to do, they came in and added the high tables into the booths that were still there. And I said, no, this has to go. No. And that's why I just started pulling all the backdrops and so on. I just removed everything, and they started, you cannot do this. So where do I put this? And then I just refused to talk with them in English or French or whatever. It was Quebec. So I just continued removing everything and just say, oh, now it's done. Now it's gone. Now we can do it better. And it just helped removing this one.
Quebec was different in several reasons. They wanted to host.
And I was lucky. I was happy that they didn't get it. Do you know how difficult it was for Busan the last time that the organizer was an older team? And they did not really do anything 1 or 2 months before, and then the young guys stepped in, and they were so quick with everything. You know, when people were hungry, a day later, a whole fleet of food trucks in front of the theater, everything organized. That was really so cool.
Also, talking about televisions, right? I mean, that was several years ago, and
they set them up.
Yes, they set up television more or less overnight, and really big ones from Samsung probably, but still. And there was a time where you didn't find them at every media market around the corner, but you really needed to find a place where to get those giant TVs. But they also realized that overnight to have TV screens all over to make people, allow people to see the of competitions. So that was really amazing, and also you could feel the love and passion for what they were doing there with every heartbeat. It was just, they had some really amazing gala shows. I remember, did you see the gala show that was hosted by Eugene, and where he performed his FISM act, where the music cut off? They had obviously.
It was not. He had to do it several times, right? And I was not in this time when
probably.
Yes.
So it was one moment, and then he did his famous manipulation act, and then all of a sudden the music stopped, and you could see a little moment where he was
Thinking what comes next.
So and the music didn't start again, and he just continued, and it was 2,000 something people in this giant theater, and it was so quiet you could hear him when he manipulated his cards. You could really hear the manipulation of the cards. It was absolutely quiet. It was, of course, one of the, I mean, Grand Prix winner in his own country and hosting FISM and so on. So it was one of the highlights of the whole thing, besides the competition, the new one. So the pressure and the expectations were really high, and he was doing a fantastic job by hosting this gala. But then, of course, there was this moment where he would present.
Wow.
So the pressure was really high, and then this mistake. And so he continued doing it as if nothing would have happened. And it was the only thing people were talking about, was this planned or was it really an accident and just performed well? I don't know. To this day, I don't know if it was planned. If it was planned, it was a genius.
And if not, then he should continue like this. I was lucky enough, and that is many years ago, I was at Magic Live, I believe, or at another World Magic Seminar event, whatever it was a convention in Las Vegas, and they flew in, let's see if they flew in Teller. He was performing in New York at that time, and they flew him in, and they did a very rare lecture about his ball and ring. Do you know this floating ball?
Yeah,
or the train ball, but you know the train ball, right? And so he was doing this lecture, and I was very privileged to be part of this lecture and seeing it. And he started the whole event by having a big hammer, put it in front of the stage, and said, "So everybody has my allowance to take this hammer whenever someone sees someone else having his phone out to film. I'm allowing you to destroy his phone. I will pay for this." What was cool, and then he told the whole story about why do I say this? Because this act with the ball is completely without any music. There's nothing. It's like Yuho Jin without anything. And it was also that they have this piano player that is the jazz musician that is always playing music when you go inside. Sometimes Penn is playing the bass. The bass, and this day when he usually would perform, he was not able to come, so he did it in a silent moment, and it was so more intense. He said that since then he decided never ever do this act again to music.
Interesting.
So silence can be powerful.
Yes, definitely. If it's especially since it's usually not used, right? I mean, it's usually you think, okay, no, if it's a little more silent, or even if you talk, you have some music behind it, which is also nice because it sets some mood. But still, if you have something to fill the silence, and that was really an amazing moment. And of course, I mean, you can only imagine that everybody was really tense to see how he might do it. And of course, when it came to the final moments of his act and took his bow, it just exploded, and everybody was jumping from the seats, having tears in their eyes. It was just a
now let's get back
moment.
to the last because not the because
but that's the next thing.
I know. We can also go there, but we already spoke about some of those points in the German live stream. But just do it quick in a way. You were part of the team that supported the German competition team, and so you were backstage all the time. You were helping with the organization for the German part. What did you like? What you did not like at the FISM of the organization, etc.? Maybe something that people would not even notice, who would not compete.
Starting with some things we liked, especially was the people backstage, the official team who were working tirelessly from dusk till dawn, or even longer. They've been there almost always, and they were all magicians themselves or connected to magic in a way, and so they really knew what was at stake, and they were really amazing. The option to have a big open space to work was quite good, but still, and they had big long ramps to enter the stage and to leave it and so on. That was quite good. Also, they found themselves better in the organization regarding the timing. So that was a little difficult at the first days, but then they learned very fast, and most of the things worked out quite well.
Did you do Rimini as well?
Yes, and that was different.
So they really improved in this area, right?
By far. I remember Rimini. We also had some delays this time, but nothing in comparison. So I remember Rimini. The strongest example was Jakob Matthias. He was doing his beach party act.
Oh.
He was supposed to do the rehearsal, I think, at 2:00 in the afternoon, something like that. And I think it was 4:30 in the night that they called him. And they didn't tell him anything. Just wait, we will call you. So they always were on standby for more than 12 hours for their 10-minute rehearsal slot. And and that was where they had the White Night as also, but that was not at a different location like
it was outside.
Turin. It was just outside. So actually what we did was half of the crew was inside of the building with the cell phones and just waiting for the moment to say, okay, well, you're next. But of course the party was long over at this time, but we didn't know. But there was also this TV thing built all around it, or actually it was a FISM built through this TV show. Well, not talk about it, but that was really different this time. Still not everything absolutely in time, but I know it from our own rehearsals. It's always that you have some lag sometimes, and sometimes you find back into the timing, but that went quite well. They also had good technical equipment. Everything worked.
Something what I heard was I think it wasn't their fault when it was at the competition, stage competition, Illusions before the White Night when
the 45-minute.
There was a delay. What happened there? What was
it? It was a really difficult setup. So we just witnessed it from beside because we didn't want to disturb. But it was, I think it was wasn't it from Spain or from France? I'm not sure. It was in the end it was nice, but it was really big things, and they put up their own backdrop, which they wanted to make fall down with a kabuki system, and so on. So they had to lower the. It was actually, that is the thing. Of course, we were talking about setting the time slots for a competition. That
okay. So just to say, this was not the organizers' fault. It was the competitors' fault. They should not have been able to get this amount of time. They should have been disqualified for this.
That's the jury was backstage and they were considering I think taking consequences. Good. But in the end they got a prize. So the number
really?
Yes, I think that was a surprise.
Oh yeah.
Wow. If I'm not mistaken. But that's always the thing, right? I mean, it's in how far is it fair? So you have, of course, you can say it's fair if everybody gets the same amount of time, or if you say, okay, well, of course, if you want great and bombastic and
well, let's say you have a certain amount of time when the curtain opens.
Yes.
You should also have a certain amount of time max before the curtain opens.
Yeah, that's definitely
because I mean, then make your backdrop or make all your stage stuff in a way that you just push it in. Yeah. Everything is outside waiting in the backstage. Now you can push it in, whatever it is, whatever needs to drop. It has to be on stage within 3 minutes, or it's not.
In this case, we were talking about, I think, 45 minutes. So it was really a really long time, and that was bad in two things. It was, of course, the audience was not happy because they also weren't informed. They were just sitting there and waiting.
Yeah.
The other thing is, of course, the whole schedule went out of control. So what was happening was, as you said, was before the White Night, and the White Night was at a location about 1 hour drive away from the theater with a bus. With a car, it was faster, but still. Yeah. And the people had dedicated time slots for their buses, and
everything was chaotic.
And they asked, "Will the buses leave later due to the delay we have?" But they said no, they can't. So people now sit there and say, okay, well, there's 4 more or 3 more
And the last one was
competitors.
Lucas. And Lucas was the last one, yeah.
The last one was Lukas Kaminski from one of our starters.
By the way, he won 2 prizes for the creativity, the most creative act,
The most creative
and innovation.
and innovation. True, but also he
Continue.
but also we got carried away again.
Well, the topic is FISM.
Yeah,
So,
true.
and certainly we.
Yeah,
have to
but
talk
still,
about
I mean,
this
it's a
one.
card. It's a card shark account. So
Yes,
people want to see some cards.
but you are here once, and I will be here next time again. We will do. By the way, yeah, shall we then? finish
Yeah,
it off?
just to quit this. So people left and left and left because they thought, okay, well, there's maybe 3 more competitors to go, but if I don't go now, I will miss my bus and I maybe miss the whole event for the night. So you cannot blame the people for leaving, but still, it's bad if you're preparing yourself for years for this single moment in time, and then the curtain opens and maybe a third or maybe even just a fourth of the people of the seats are still populated. But there again, we talked about the great community, especially from the German. We call it Team Germany, which was on the t-shirts and on the wristbands. And they've been all there, and they made more noise than required to give him a good amount of self-esteem and to just to feel that he doesn't play into an open nothing kind of thing, but gave him much feedback and really carried him through this. So I was really proud of everybody who really. So it was not just a third of the audience, but everybody made noise for 3.
I don't know if Lucas has any video out there on YouTube about his
Not
act
yet.
because there's no American Got Talent or whatever where he performed it. So what's his last name again? Lucas? Kaminski.
Yes.
So you should really watch out for this guy. He was doing magic with the soap bubbles, actually soap bubble, let's say, with one, and it did not pop, whatever.
No.
So it was a real soap bubble. I have seen so many manipulations by Losander with soap bubbles, etc., with the floating and maneuvering, but his ideas were really new. I know that because I've seen all the preparation up to the FISM. And so I was so proud of.
Also, why he won the prize for innovation. It was really a new technique.
It was definitely, and I'm so proud of not only him, but the whole German team that really was like a wall, preventing any air flowing whatsoever.
Opening doors.
We really closed every exit.
So nobody could leave during the act. Yeah. But nobody wanted to because they were really all
but no open doors, nothing. Air condition was turned off, and so on and so on. So he got really the best possible circumstances in this particular location that was available. Let's say it this way.
Yeah. So thank you to everyone who contributed. Maybe some are watching now. It was really amazing.
Yeah, that's true. So now, as promised, we have to finally show something, and that's now in German. Let's do this in English. Let's see. Here's English, and now if this one goes, then I should do the same thing, and hopefully it will be then in English, but not the red one. Anyway, so what do we have here? Several products that were so brand new that even I only got them at FISM, not even at the first date, and it was 1 or 2 days later, and I got them in so little quantities, and I'd have to take some of them with me to Magic Live, so I cannot yet put them into the online shop, but I can show them to you. And are they? That's not even complete. Okay, let's start with something. Or is the number deck over there? No, because last week we had Rainer Mees here, and we talked about the number deck, but I didn't have one, so we took the cards of Rainer. I would like to show you now in a second, but for this I'll give you something to shuffle. Let's see if you can do this, because this is the new jumbo deck. It's really gigantic, as you can see. It's really big. Let's see if you can shuffle it. I will check it in a minute. Yeah, sure.
Well, For all those who already watched the German stream, they might have a deja vu now, having me here, but I didn't have props last time because last time, just an hour ago, we had an Amazon delivery guy who was ringing the bell several times, and I was alone, not having anything to play with. Now that's better. We improved.
Yeah, and how does it feel?
It feels actually Is it almost like it's almost the width of a it's a little wider, right? But still, it feels like real cards to me, not this plasticky thing that you sometimes have with jumbo cards, and they're not.
The board from China, etc.
Yeah, whatever.
Way too thick. No, this is the real. That's the same cardstock that we are using on our Phoenix decks.
It's
so the
even
best
a little
possible
softer
quality.
due to the fact that they're bigger, right?
So people now think
it really feels nice.
Yes, because I already got some questions. Oh, can you do double deckers in jumbo? And when you think of my thin cards,
Yes.
a double decker in that size would be so flimsy, it would immediately bend and break. I could imagine that if you take two complete decks now of this, then they would feel like a double decker.
Probably.
Because the thickness of the deck is as thick as normal.
Yes.
Let's see if I can do this here for the table. Exactly. So the thickness is really thin, and we have the flexible cardstock. The nice thing is it's a marked deck anyway.
Oh.
Are you familiar with our markings?
Not really.
Yeah. Where would you put
I
the
would never
markings
do
in?
things like that.
On a table, that's nice. Can you see the marking there? I mean, if this is not visible, then I don't know. So here we have the 3 of spades.
Yes.
Well, I can even do the 2 of zoom. Here we go. So the 3 of spades would be here, the 8 of diamonds.
Crazy thing is now seeing it on screen makes it less visible than being here in person.
That's true.
Crazy.
Let's see if I can do this again. So here would be the 6 of hearts. Very simple to see. And this is how it continues. King of diamonds, the 10 of diamonds, and so on and so on. Ace of hearts. So that's the marked Phoenix deck coming soon to on our website. And with this particular deck, we also did an invisible deck. And maybe some people already picked up the invisible deck factory rough. So the roughing is made in the manufactory. It's not any spraying whatsoever. And as you can see, we can show all the different cards. And when I want to, then I can open easily and show one card that is certainly then the 7 of hearts. I don't think I have to explain you how an invisible deck works. Certainly not. So it's not a it's not
actually,
giving away a secret.
that's what I wanted to say. We will not give away any secrets here, right?
Not too much. Not too much. Exactly.
Otherwise, I would have to exclude both of us from the club.
I'm always. So how would you deal this with a dealer? I mean, if I would not be allowed to give away secrets, how could I then bring new magicians into magic?
But I think it's a difference if you sell it to somebody or if you just say I explain it to everybody on the street. I mean,
it's a very thin layer of
I think if you would, you don't do it. But if you would go to a regular, let's say, flea market where usual people come, not a magic shop, you would also not just show the tricks and then say, "No, I explain you how it works." But you would sell it and then explain, and maybe that's
what usually the Svengali dealers are doing. That they are doing it behind the curtain,
which is kind of clever because, of course, some people will just buy it just to know how it works, right? So
the pitch is so awesome. I got a booklet from the 70s, how to prepare and pitch the Svengali deck. It's beautiful. So this guy was buying the cheapest possible decks in the end, and his way was that in the evening in the hotel he would he sawed and cut the cards. So he has a cutting machine there, and when he then performs, his trick was that after every performance, a sale would give away the performance deck, so that you would never have something left over that you cannot sell.
Crazy.
Clever. It was clever, but like a little bit really that cheap. Anyway, so here's the next one. I was happy that we finally got those one here. So this is the number deck. Well, that's a cover of it to show how the cards would look like. And if you remove it, then this is how it looks. Certainly on the bottom, as you know, is the information of that it's a 52 deck. You would also see that it's number cards. So depending on how you store your packages, and here are the numbers easily to read on the edges, so that you don't have to open up the whole cards to know which value is behind it. Let's say here the 37, certainly it gets really, really big. That's how it should be. And certainly the marking of it is the Boris Wilde marking, what is really cool because it's an idea of Boris Wilde. And I'm not so sure. Are you familiar with the Boris Wilde marking? A little
Not
bit?
too much.
Okay, that's cool.
Well, I saw something right
Yeah.
now.
Well,
You told me it's marked. But
the nice thing about it, I think it's, I'll just put it here. Oops, put it here for a while. I think the Boris Wilde marking is the fastest possible marking to find a named number or card. So please tell me any number between 1 and 52.
37.
37. So the here would be from 1 to 10, 10, 20, 21 to 30. So here down here, I would have now to look for the 7, 27 you said?
37.
30, sorry, 37. So all I have to do is now do this. And here's already 37. Can it be any faster? There's nothing faster than this because when you're going through the markings, actually of 52 cards, only 10 are visible.
Okay.
Because you only have to look in a certain height, and that's when you can see the cards. All the other ones are more or less taken out, and so it's a very, very fast experience to get to one specific card. So we have the number deck that I wanted to explain. It's a nice working. It's kind of crazy with the backdrop again. We were playing a little bit. Now we have again. Oh boy, I'm getting there. Guys. It is what it is. We changed a little bit the green screen because something happened with our settings, and he's really good. So
I think maybe.
yeah, it's your shadow. When there's one person, no problem at all. With two people, that's why I have these lights now, so that the shadows will be eliminated. But it's not perfectly.
Yeah, green screen is always a certain kind of magic. I was invisible at the beginning of the rehearsal.
That was funny.
I have a bit here.
But you would have to turn on the lights because now.
I know, but if I just hold it like this, but
no,
once I put it on, it's
still not. I would have to turn on the light.
This was invisible just a moment ago. Okay. Yeah. Now the monitor turned off. No, it's turning back on again. So if I wear this, I turn kind of invisible. Like no, it works different. So it's
okay. We changed a lot of the settings. That's fine. Okay, anyway.
I was invisible, it was just like in Harry Potter.
That's why we both now have black shirts, because I also had a sleeve here that was having problem with the green screen. I did not notice it. So here we go. I already mentioned the Firefighter deck, what is really, really a great deck of cards where any named card, let's say any named card that is later selected at the end, is the only surviving card in the deck. Everything else is burned. We on the website. This item is already online. You cannot watch the trailer yet. I still have to edit it, and I only have 2 hands, 24 hours, and need a little bit of sleep. This will come certainly, but there's a great review of Craig Petty, who did a performance there and talks about this deck. It's a beautiful made deck. It's a little bit like an invisible deck, but better because you can really show from both sides, all burned, and one card will survive. I already did a different pattern with it, that the only card that has a signature on of Houdini, because he was an escape artist, is the one that is not burned. So certainly the whole deck you show it's burned. One card is removed. It has on the back, it has the signature of Houdini. And when you turn it around, it would be the card that the spectator has chosen. What is the same principle whatsoever, just another performance. So we had the number decks, we had the Firefighter, we had more with Boris Wilde, because we are now doing this one here. So we have the Boris Wilde Mark Deck Anniversary book. In the end, he already now released his deck 20 years ago. Actually 30 years, and this is the anniversary version, where we also include QR codes, like what we wanted to say, that the handling or the performances will be online to watch, plus then the instructions to the books. And the most beautiful thing about this is when you buy the whole set, you will get 2 beautiful decks of cards that are these beautiful metallic looking decks. Let me see, this is so difficult to see, but they are just metallic, looking, not only the card case, but also the cards themselves. On the faces, all normal, the Phoenix Index, but on the back we have beautiful metallic looking bags in red. But what's going on with the light? Here we go. It's really, really cool. And the same with blue. And certainly, as this is a Boris Wild mark deck, they have the same markings like the Boris Wild mark decks. However, now in metallic. And it's a beautiful deck. It handles certainly, as always, beautifully. And we only produced 1,000 of those decks. So 1,000 red, 1,000 blue. They come with the books, but with the book. But I think I will not only have them included in the book. You can buy the book itself for a different price. You can buy just the 2 decks as one set as well. I still have to figure out the price in dollars and euros, and they will be on the website very, very soon because I only have a very small amount for Magic Live. I don't even know if this would be enough or not for this event, and then we will have a larger run coming over so that we can start the sales once I'm back middle of August. Sorry. Yeah, so this is the Boris Wild set, a lot of Boris Wild covering here. And last but not least, this is what was going on at FISM itself. And at Magic Live, we will have a new release. And I'm giving you already the name of it. It's called The Overboard by Paul Stone. It's an old idea, and it's a perfect worker for birthday parties, corporate events, stage shows, etc. because it's kind of a display that has a Himba principle built into. And so you can apply this to all your own handlings and ideas and routines. And so you will soon will also find out what the Overboard is doing. We have a very small amount for, well, small, for Magic Live. And Alfred is building them. Alfred Polis, I don't know if you know him. He's
not personally, but yeah.
Also a great magician and also a professional when it comes to building stuff. I mean, he built this one
Okay.
and helped me with that backdrop and so on, or this part here. So yeah, Alfred is great in all these circumstances and also a good friend. And he's building these overboard pieces right now. And you will soon find out more about it. Maybe I will put it into the video that I will record tomorrow that you might then see while I'm in Vegas or in the USA, checking my warehouse afterwards. Yeah, so far these are now our newest releases. There's one more to come very soon. I can already tell you the name of it. I don't know if it will continue having this name. It was released back then under the name Masked by Norbert Mirani from the Netherlands. And it's a brilliant idea. I will not tell you anything more. Maybe I will have some time, but time is ticking. It's really ticking. I wanted to be able to also show it in Magic Live, but maybe this will be a release later this year because it should be. It's a beautiful piece of art. So we are working on a lot of things. I also now update Klaus the Mouse that will now turn into Roger the Ghost.
Okay.
I already saw the working pieces. They should now be ready to ship because they wanted to have them by the end of July finished. They have to come to Germany now, then being prepared, etc., because it's not ready yet. And so we are very, very busy. The second half of this year will be no more conventions as far as I know, but a lot of new releases, etc., because I also have to do the parlor decks, I have to do the vintage cards. All this comes promised. And so I will do my very best to give you great experiences whenever you want. Reach out to me. I have WhatsApp. Insta, what was the one where it was on private? I will check what this one is. So just reach out to me. I will respond as far as I can. Yes, tarot will be included. So I will do everything again in vintage. It will be the tarot, the gypsy deck, the heirloom deck most likely, and then all the extensions like the gypsy curse and the tarot gone wild, and so on and so on. What do you mean with the German version?
I think Klaus the Mouse probably.
No, I think the tarot, because the tarot has English and German written on the cards, and it will stay like this. In German and English, I will not change anything on those. So it will still be an English and German one. I will also then talk to Alexander Römer, who wrote this beautiful book about the medieval tarot. That's funny. Okay, Tommy, you will have to tell me something about it later. And so I will try to convince then Alexander to also release the book again, maybe as an online version whatsoever, because there were beautiful storytelling routines included for all the trick cards we printed for the tarot cards. So you see, we are now really getting into a very busy phase, and you will see more and more new releases. So please, best would be, let me try this. Let's see if it works. Let me find this one here. Yes, it would be awesome if you could not only like this video but also subscribe to this channel and ring the bell so that you get notified whenever we do something new here, because newsletters not always work. We try our very best to inform you, and that's it. So far so good. Will the Prism deck be reprinted? The Prism deck is a very interesting project. There is an issue that is not easy to be explained with Vanishing Ink. And they already printed, okay, let's say this. I have a certain amount of Prism decks still in stock of the old version, not the Prism 2.0 whatsoever with his gimmick. I still have those here in stock, so if you call, if you ask, I will be able to provide you with one of the old Prism decks. Beautiful. I am thinking of doing a new rainbow type of deck that will not be the Prism itself, but goes into the same direction. So marked rainbow style deck, and we can talk about this, but there are so many other ideas I still have to release. Also, I told you about the number deck. I will work on this. It's already in the print, a roulette deck.
A roulette deck.
The roulette deck, what is really cool, I can show you later when we are closing here. It has the same like the numbers, but it has the images of the roulette in red and green, so that now you can do an out of this world. No, green is 0 and 00, sorry, and then red and black. So you can do out of this world. You can do all the different stuff. Certainly, they are marked on the back that you know it's a red or black card for separations and so on and so on. So there will be a lot of oil and water routines, so much more visible than just having red playing cards, blue and black playing cards. So this will also come. So as said, we are super busy, and new items come. Oh God, I have to get this deck also ready. Project together with Mark Mason. Oh boy, is this a cool deck. I did a prototype of it. I will show it to Mark when I see him at Magic Live. This this will be released most likely in Blackpool by Mark and me. Ooh, you can be excited because I am. I don't know the working title for this one, but it's a great trick. I mean, when Mark Mason is doing something, you know it's great.
Yes. So I got lots of things planned.
Oh my God. And we have an hour. God. Guys, thank you for staying with us. I hope it was, it did not feel like an hour that you were with us.
Certainly not for me.
Thank you for being here. I only told you that you would be booked until 9:30. I hope your wife is okay with that.
If we are lucky, she's looking.
Oh, that would be awesome.
Probably she's hungry because I told her I might bring something.
Oh, you bring something? Okay.
Probably, so write me if you.
I can tell you where the next McDonald's is.
Yeah, I'll probably take one closer to home because.
And better food, definitely. So, guys, thank you so much for joining us and staying with us. Thanks for being here and talking about FISM.
Thank you very much.
And I think we have to repeat this again, like in German language. When you have your 1 year, when will it be? In November?
In October.
In October.
Middle of October.
I think we should do this.
Yeah, probably. We will have the youth championships also around this time. This is one of the little conventions that we have, but we have no dealers at the youth convention.
Oh, where will it be?
In Gala, in the eastern part of Germany.
Okay.
And it's going to be from the 17th till the 19th of October.
Okay. Will there be public allowed to see?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, because we have a certain event that is, when we talk about events, you should give me the dates and where to go, etc. Because we always include this one then in the German stream, where people can come, etc. Especially to support the youth.
That's great.
Or maybe finding other youth talents to see what others can do, and you could be the next one.
Definitely. And just to say this very short, but still, our youth championship, many people think it's just more like some kids doing some nice magic, but actually, the skill level is really, really high. And for instance, we have Maurice Grange, he was youth champion, then went to the European Championships and won the European Championships, and then he went to the German Championships and become the German champion of manipulation, all without being at a Vorentscheidung of a qualifying contest, because he qualified at the youth championships.
And the cool thing is, it was a new way of presenting manipulation, like Kyle Drescher was performing a quick change in a totally new way. So it was really refreshing to see that you can do manipulation totally different, not always standing like the Koreans and not moving anymore because all the threats and all the
definitely
going on. No, he was really, it's a cool act. Unfortunately, he did not get a prize, but at least a lot of attention, what is more important.
And also a lot of points. So, I mean, it was seen that it was great. It was just put a little worse than, or some others were even better. But
on the other hand, he's young, and we can see it
20.
with Morten, and we see it with Morten Christiansen. This guy competed again, and well, the other one as well, the French guy.
Yes,
but it was not that good, right? What I heard, I don't know.
I didn't see it.
Okay, me neither.
But he didn't. I think the points also were not too bad, but still, I mean, it's if you have 160 competitors and just about 24, maximum 24 prizes, and they didn't give out every prize. So, of course, then most of the acts, and it was really high level in the competition. It was just very few which were not really good.
Being good is not enough if you have a competition, and we have to say others can be good and should be good as well. And there's one last question I will answer right now before then saying goodbye. The rising card, Pam, thank you for the question. Yes, there will be an electric version of the rising card. Electronic, sorry. It's already made by the same company that is printing my cards. They did it for poker, so we will have those very soon. But the cool thing is he wanted to have this in the jumbo deck style. So there will be also an electronic card riser for the jumbo deck. So, and I guess when we have this one,
big wine glass.
I don't know. Maybe it's even on the table, moving the cards out could already be interesting. I really don't know. So I hope if he does it for this size and for the poker size, he will also do it for the parlor size once they are back. A lot of things to do. Pam, yes, we sooner or later will have a rising card in our online shop. You will find it in this year, in the next few months. Thank you so much for joining us. And until next time, we should be having another video. It will not be an online, a live video, because I will now travel to Magic Live. But I guess that with Oliver, I will record videos tomorrow for next Monday and the week after, so that when I get home, we'll be back live on. Thank you so much. And until the next time. Ciao.
Thank you. Bye.